Hello and welcome to another product video breakdown from Nitecore Store. Today we are going to take a look at the Nitecore NU43 headlamp, the world's lightest 18650 headlamp.
Are you new to this channel? Consider subscribing and liking our videos for more Nitecore content.
The Nitecore NU43 is a USB-C rechargeable headlamp with a built-in 3400 mAh high-capacity lithium-ion battery. It uses Nitecore's unibody TIR lens system with the spotlight as well as floodlight, although you cannot control them independently for they both activate at the same time whenever the white light function is on. Additionally, there is a red LED for auxiliary uses such as low light situations, and finally a proximity sensor, an incredibly useful feature for many headlamp users are known for their lack of depth perception and thus lets you know when you are nearing a wall or any other obstacle. The Nitecore NU43 is equipped with two unspecified high-performance cool white LEDs. This one is the spotlight and this one is the floodlight, although both are on at the same time, giving you a nice blend of both spot and throw, giving you bright lighting at the subject that the headlamp is pointed towards, as well as residual fill lighting all around the general direction you are pointing at. The Nitecore NU43 is thus capable of a 1400 lumen turbo. This yields a maximum 142 yard beam distance. The peak beam intensity of the Nitecore NU43 is 3400 candela. Here is the operation guide of the Nitecore NU43. First, let's hold the power button to activate the NU43. There you go. Subsequent taps of the power button will cycle through three brightness settings: low, medium, and high. In order to access turbo mode, you must double tap the power button while the headlamp is on. Turbo mode. And then of course hold the power button again to deactivate the headlamp. While the headlamp is off, you can double tap to access your 8 lumen ultra low mode. This 8 lumen ultra low mode lasts for up to 165 hours, an amazing amount of hours. You can access your auxiliary modes whether the headlamp is on or off. You can either hold the mode button while the headlamp is off to activate your red light. From here, tapping the power button will cycle between red flashing and red solid. Or, while the headlamp is on, you can tap the mode button to switch over to your red light. Tap the mode button again to switch back to your white lights. And finally, while the NU43 is off, double tapping the mode button will access your auxiliary secondary modes. For instance, SOS, and then from here, tap the power button once to cycle to beacon. In short, mode basically switches between white light and red light, and no matter what mode you are in, tapping the power button will cycle within the settings of that particular setting. So, when it's on white light, tapping changes brightness. When it's on red light, tapping the power button changes between solid or flashing. And finally, when it's on SOS, tapping the power switches to beacon. Back to SOS. To beacon. Back to SOS. The Nitecore NU43 comes with all of the features that Nitecore headlamp users like most: the access to instant red, or the access to instant ultra low, and even better, the access to instant ultra high. As long as you learn the mechanisms of the power and mode button, you can do all the manner of lighting is at your fingertips. I didn't write that sentence correctly. Additionally, the Nitecore NU43 can be electronically locked to prevent any accidental activation. At any time, while the headlamp is deactivated, hold both the power and mode button for at least 2 seconds. 1, 2. The light will flash 3 times, letting you know it is currently locked out. Any subsequent button presses will flash the headlamp once, letting you know it is currently locked out. You can also use this feature to throw sweet raves. The lockout feature is an excellent tool to have during transport or even storage when the Nitecore NU43 is tossed into a bag haphazardly by careless individuals and you don't want it to turn on without you saying so. To unlock the Nitecore NU43, once again just hold both the power and mode button for 2 seconds. 1 and 2. Ding ding. and it will activate on ultra low, letting you know it is now ready to go. Now that we've stared at the top of the headlamp for far too long, what's going on the underside of the NU43? Well, what is that? A bunch of LEDs? That's right, when you tap the mode button of the NU43 once while it is deactivated, it lights up these 4 LEDs in quick succession, letting you know the current battery level. Now for those of you who are experienced with Nitecore headlamps of yore, you might be tempted to twist on these ends of the Nitecore NU43, but resist that urge. I'm just kidding, you can totally do it, for this protects the hidden USB-C charging port. That's right, with just the twist of a cover on the side, you can either hide or uncover the USB-C charging port. Once you uncover said port, use the included USB-C charging cable. Plug it in to charge the NU43, and of course the battery level indicator on the underside will blink and go to a steady on for all 4 once the battery inside is fully charged. And whether you believe it or not, this little twist protective cover actually is completely waterproof when closed all the way, giving the Nitecore NU43 a IP68 waterproof rating. As I've mentioned before, the Nitecore NU43 comes with this built-in proximity sensor. That's right, it senses proximity. First, let's activate the Nitecore NU43. How about we turn it up to high? Wow, that's a lot of lumens. As you approach a surface, the proximity sensor will notice it is getting close to something, putting the LEDs dangerously close to hot burny range. And as you get further away from the surface, brings the LEDs back up to the setting you were on previously. And as you approach, dims itself. Boy, technology of the future. Now, I've said this about many of Nitecore's headbands in the past, but I actually mean it this time, wink wink, I am not lying. This is actually my favorite headband of all the ones Nitecore has made thus far. I really like this sort of heavy-duty, more nylon-y canvas feel of the Nitecore NU43's headband. Additionally, I also like the design of just the bold yellow Nitecore stripe running along the bottom. Also, the reflective bands as well as the Nitecore lettering is far more reflective. And of course, because this material is a lot more thicker and durable, it is still very elastic and stretchy, but also allows for the inclusion of these perforations or holes which give it far more breathability factor. It of course also has the very thick, bold silicone strip on the inside which helps wick sweat away from the foreheads, depriving your eyes from precious lubrication. And finally, the last clear benefit of the Nitecore NU43, because of this style of design, as opposed to the hinge style, which you see on the Nitecore NU33 or 25, it allows for both an upwards and downwards direction for facing the LED array, because it is on this rotational axis. You can aim the Nitecore NU33 downwards with the headlamp attached, or you can aim the LEDs upwards with the headlamp facing forward. As a matter of fact, it gives you such an incredible range of motion, almost 150 degrees worth. You can have it pointing nearly straight up, although the efficacy or usefulness of it would be questionable. And likewise, you can have it pointing almost entirely downwards, illuminating the ground in front of you as you are walking with said headlamp. And that concludes the product video breakdown of the Nitecore NU43, the world's lightest 18650 battery utilizing headlamp. Of course, it is USB-C rechargeable and sacrifices were made. Yes, the battery is not removable, but because it does utilize an 18650 battery, it comes with the larger capacity and of course the extended run times. The Nitecore NU43 is available at nitecorestore.com. If you have enjoyed this video or think I'm a big dumb fart, please leave a comment or suggestion below. To stay up to date on future product releases, sales announcements, and all things flashlight related, please consider subscribing to the Nitecore Store YouTube channel. And thank you.